Hello everyone, this is the last lesson for the trilogy Women in Esports, and the title of this lesson will be Changes Incoming, hopefully. So previously, what did we talk about? Well, we talked about two prominent women in esports scene. We talked about Sasha Scarlett Hoyson, who's a StarCraft player, and Seong Gregory Kim, who's a Overwatch player. We realized that both females were, same as any other male. They were going through some hardship, but they just didn't give up in the dream that they were holding on to. Scarlett only joined this. She started playing StarCraft because her brother taunted her, saying like, "Hey, you can't beat me in this game." And she's like, "Well, watch me," and she did, and she won the World Championship, International Championship, and recently this year. And then Seong Gregory Kim, she was accused of cheating just because she was too good at the game. She was just too amazing for other people to even recognize. So there was that. But she is now currently in the highest league possible for Overwatch, and she's playing and she's still competing, and they're both good iconic people for women who are interested in doing esports and just achieving their dream as well. So let's talk about what's actually out there to help these women who are actually interested in esports, and what organization or what community is out there that creates this safe environment that we discussed in lesson 1, how the environment that it's currently out there is not safe, but are there safe environments that females could kind of lean their head on? It would be like a shoulder they could lean on if they need help. So first, there's the community. There's the local, online, and world. So many girls, when they meet, online or offline, they form a group locally to play games with each other. So this creates an environment where they're safe together, and they enjoy each other's company while playing the game that they all enjoy. And then, so obviously after meeting online, they create team or party to play with. So once again, just emphasizing how important it is for them to actually feel safe, and they know that they're not gonna get harassed by their teammates because they're the same people. They're just people who loves game and wants to get better at it. And so this creates support groups such group that would have like party finders. These are usually, you can find them on Discord. There's a list of channels you could join on Discord. Discord is a voice chat mainly used for gamers. Obviously it's something like Skype, but it's generally known for gamers to use. So sometimes, like after playing with a person, you might get like a message from person through the game messenger and be like, "Hey, can I have your Discord? Can we like hang out?" Something like that. Usually a lot of girls, personally also, whenever I played with another girl, they would ask me for my Discord, and then we just have a little chat, and then we'd just play games together. So it was like a nice little family kind of community creation happening, and this is obviously a first step to creating this nice little environment. And a lot of people actually look to find such community they could actually be themselves in. So next is the easy access groups, such as Facebook, social media. So there's the search bar on Facebook, Twitter, etc., like Tumblr, Instagram, stuff like that. So like on Facebook or Twitter, if you search up like female esports club, there are actually a lot of them listed out there. These not only does it have communities that people could join, it actually tells you information about all female teams that are actually out there and performing their best to do what they love, and it has their background history, just like about them, their own social media and stuff like that. So this place like this is where a lot of people like me would go in and watch other female professionals playing. Like, since I'm interested in seeing more females, I tend to watch these people stream, or if they have a streaming capability. Or I'm actually part of this female esports group in Facebook. They give me all the new information about the game. They talk about like events they could be having. They talk about like creating their own Discord. It was like a nice little like community where I felt personally safe, and it was very inviting. It was very welcoming. They didn't have any like hatred. It wasn't just females too. It was a lot of other men who had same ideas about creating this safe environment. So it felt really nice just knowing that people like this exist. And Facebook and other social media is a good way to find these people that to share the same interests. And so Facebook decided to create this Women in Gaming initiative. So their mission is to champion diversity in games, encourage more women into leadership position, and work together to inspire change. So this is more into kind of game industry, but this helps women in gaming and women in esports because it shows that other big companies like Facebook are trying their best to actually make this create this safe environment for women to actually just express what they love. So the link here, we have these person in talking. She has a little like talk about what their project is. So what she talked about obviously was creating this safe environment for women in game industry, as well as the game women who are actually interacting with games. And she mentioned stuff like character design, character choices, how there's not a lot of female protagonists in games, and just she also mentioned something about how women are getting wrongly treated in certain game industries. So like, how would women feel about joining them if things are so negative? So she's pretty much stating what I've been saying this for the whole time, saying to create safe environment, we need to start working together. So this is what this Women in Gaming initiative is trying to do. They're trying to create an environment where women can come out and share their story, share their experience, and this is a good way to get involved if you are interested in joining the industry as well as just interested in gaming itself. So there are other organizations who are working to get more women and more girls interested in gaming and just taking a professional role out of it. So professional esports organizations are on the move. The LA Valiant, which the team is also owned with the Energy, I believe, and Immortals. So they decided to start this event called Girls in Gaming Summit, and their purpose was to learn from many women who make and work in games about their experience and growth in industry and about the countless opportunities in game world holds. So they are holding this large event, which by the way has been sold out completely. The tickets are completely sold out, so we know there are a lot of people who are interested in this, and it is a great way to get girls get involved in the gaming industry and gaming in itself and professional position they could take. So they decided, why not have this whole few days just to have women come in, powerful women in esports and game industry and stuff like that. Let them come in and just talk to these girls who are very bright and they're very interested in going further with what they love. So with during this event, they're gonna teach girls how to get into the competitive industry, which is pretty much why they're joining this. They're attending this event. This event also includes business of esports panel, viewing party, networking, and gameplay. And then the main purpose, they say, is to build community of females and allies with the gaming industry. So once again, we see a common theme of organization trying to create this community of female gamers. It was mentioned in the Facebook initiative. They were like, let's make a safe environment, safe community where women are not afraid to come out and say, hey, I love gaming, without getting harassed. So these organizations are trying their best to actually feel welcoming and trying to attract more women who could be possibly interested in doing so. So LA Valiant, the Girls in Gaming Summit, is actually supported by the Runaway Game Company. The Runaway Game Company actually started this thing called Girls Behind the Gamers. It actually launched an International Women's Day in 2018. Runaway is a game company in Dunedin, New Zealand, and their goal is to increase awareness of women in the industry and highlight the incredible work they do. So another whole idea of let people know that women are behind certain things that men love, and let's just give them appreciation, and let's give them the safe environment that they deserve, and where they know they'll be loved and they won't be hated for what they do. Which this is also this whole hashtag Girls Behind the Gamers were actually hosted by large gaming companies as well as just large companies in general. Like computer companies are looking into this. A lot of computer companies are trying to promote gaming to females. They're actually having a lot of advertising where girls are either streaming a video or playing video games. It's not just inclusive to guys anymore. And it just those tiny steps help women feel like they could be what they want to be, and the community maybe will change their mind about how games are guys' territory, where it could be everyone's territory, and that doesn't even have to be a territory. It could be just anyone's hobby. So behind this event, there was 5 million tweet impressions, and they were all just women sharing their experiences in gaming, in game industry, just anything possible that has to do with gaming. So it had a really big turnout, and this created the community that people were like, hey, I felt that too. So people were talking to each other, and they were just And a lot of women gave positive feedback to this current event. They were like, I really enjoyed it because I got to talk with people who had the same experience as I did. So this was a good organization, good event that the game company created to help these women feel connected in a community. And obviously, universities are working hard to get more women involved. Like many universities, like our school itself, Miami University, are looking for ways to get more females involved with the program. Programs such as esports varsity program. I am actually part of the esports varsity program in our school. I was the only female for whole semester until some other person came in. She became a sub for our Overwatch team. But before that, a year before I joined, it was only guys, so it was the boys club. So I'm really thankful that the team was very welcoming to me joining. But yes, I know that Phil and Glenn, they're both looking into ways to get more women in esports varsity and trying to figure out what games they might be interested in and just like how to approach them without making them feel scared for feeling this rejection or just being shunned by the community. Other universities such as Stephen College, it's a all women's school, and they decided, if other schools are doing it, let's create varsity program for esports as well. And they even give scholarships, so that's a one way to encourage women to be like, hey, if you like gaming, come and tell us. We will give you scholarship and you could play for our school. So that worked for them. They actually had they had a team, Overwatch team, where they competed in TESPA, which is the collegiate scene for esports, and they say the school decided to pick Overwatch because it had diverse, strong female characters, which I personally agree with. Overwatch is a great game where it has multiple, maybe more female characters than male who have unique characteristics. They're strong. They are the characters that you want to be because they're just so strong in their heart and their mind. So it's like the help is out there. We just have to figure out a way to find them and just approach them without being like, maybe they don't want us. I think that's the thought that a lot of females might think because they're already shunned by the other community, so why would they want to join any other? So I feel like that's one way to get a message across is just, if you see a female gamer who is struggling, just like let them know. Be like, hey, there are helps out here. There's a community that is so perfect for you. Maybe you should try these, stuff like that. I feel like just a little bit of that could help the females trying to get a little bit more comfortable with expressing their love for the games. And most importantly, you. So how any help can be achieved is if you are the one taking the action. If you see anyone saying evil things, saying mean things, being toxic, being a troll, just being like, hey, that is not cool, not nice, you shouldn't say that, stuff like that always helps. And that is just one way to spread awareness that someone's action does hurt to others. And if no one tells the person who's doing all the mean things that they're being terrible, they're just going to continue. I mean, if the person is just going to continue, that's kind of upsetting. But that is a one way to start the safe community, to create a community where other people, it doesn't even have to be females, just any players might feel safe in there. So just to stop anything that seems toxic, that seems mean, just like that alone creates a safe bubble. And I feel like if people practice that more, and if you can just go around and saying, hey, if you ever feel like you're getting targeted by the gaming community, like, let me know, maybe I can help. Stuff like that always brings a smile to anyone's face. So let's have a little talk about myself. And since I am a female who is in esports and who's interested in esports, I did go through a lot of things that many females would feel if they were in my shoes. And as a little background, I come from a family where gaming for me was okay. My dad almost became a StarCraft pro player, and he did not care if I played games. He was more of, hey, try this game. How do you feel about this game? He was kind of like that guy. So I never really experienced something really bad because I only played single player games until like I came to the States and started learning English and stuff like that. And that's when I kind of learned, the community in gaming is very, very mean to a person like me. So I decided to do a little bit of a research on my Overwatch team. So since I'm in the Overwatch team and majority of my teammates are guys, I decided to ask them several questions and analyze their daily encounters with girls. And I also took notes of how they react when they saw me when I was getting hated for being a girl in the game. Just to be clear, my team do want women in esports scene, but they are toxic, they are mean, and they don't realize that until I kind of pinpoint that out to them. So they're not mean people, they're very nice. They really do want more women in esports scene. It's just they're in the progress of getting better, which is how the community should be. They should be getting better. So one thing that my teammates like to say is woman appreciator. So this is an insider joke that my teammate decided to make after the incident when one of the famous streamers decided to cheat on his wife. So this is obviously not game related, but since it was a famous game streamer, they decided to take that joke and put it in everywhere they possibly can when they see a person just doing wrong to women. So if you guys remember in lesson 1, we talked about the guy Gale. My teammates like to call him the woman appreciator because he does not appreciate women. It's kind of like a irony. So they do this often. I feel like they do this because they appreciate women and they don't want to hurt them. But it's kind of like a making fun of the woman appreciator word just because they're kind of taking it as an irony. They did stop saying it after I told them, hey, that's actually not that funny. That kind of feels insulting. Like, people who actually care for women, so they kind of stopped. But this was one of the jokes that they were saying, and they didn't realize how it would affect me. And when I told them, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And then, they started to change a little. And then there's the Mercy main, by the way. So Mercy is an Overwatch character that many, but not all, females play. That is a typo. Several of my teammates always say Mercy main, by the way, whenever they encounter a person with high Mercy playtime. So this quote is never meant to be positive. Many people in Overwatch believe that Mercy is the easiest character to play and doesn't involve aiming. So since this Mercy character is played by a lot of females, they're kind of saying, hey, female gamer, oh, you guys can't aim, you guys can't play the game because if you guys are given complex role, you guys wouldn't be able to play. So I had a big issue with this because during the team, when I was competing with the team, I had to play Mercy, and when we got higher into the rankings, they asked for our profile photo, and then so many people started to realize that I was a girl playing Mercy. So if people found me on game, like competitive setting, they would say, "Oh, she's a Mercy main. She doesn't know how to play the game. She's only in the team because she knows how to play Mercy," stuff like that. So I got a lot of those comments, and if you during streams, obviously the comments were saying, "Oh, she's a girl. She's playing Mercy. No wonder." And then they would say, "Oh, if our team is winning, they would say, oh, they are losing because the other team doesn't have a Mercy main girl in the team," stuff like that. Just a tiny little bit of those kind of insults that come in and go made me feel less of a person. They made me feel like I wasn't good enough to play the game. But anyways, so I did encounter a person who actually did call me out on being a Mercy main. Is because I have to play this character to get better, so I do play her on my competitive settings. So this one person who happened to watch my game, my streamed game, talks to me on voice, say, "Hey, you're a girl, you're a Mercy main, I know who you are." And I was like, okay. And then at that point I didn't want to play Mercy. She wasn't the best pick, so I picked to something else. And the guy who recognized me, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna lose now because Mercy main picked something else. She doesn't know how to play anything else. She only plays Mercy." And he started saying really mean things to me, like in curse words and just not nice things. And I told my team that how upsetting this was to me, and then their reaction really touched, really made me feel safe, really made me feel like I belong in the community that I love. They started looking for the guy. They started looking for, because not a lot of people watch collegiate sports unless they're collegiate. So a lot of people, they were asking other colleges if this guy is part of their team, if we could find them, like can we like file a complaint, stuff like that. And that made me feel really happy that they were trying to protect me, and they were trying to clear my Mercy status kind of thing. And it made me feel like my team really do appreciate the fact that there are highly skilled female players out in the world, and they could be better than any other guys in the game. So, and then there's the e-girl and boosting. So my teammates have this very bad idea of Mercy. So this connects to the Mercy main thing. So if a Mercy main is in a party with another person, they quickly assume that the Mercy player is a girl, and is a girl playing with her better boyfriend to get boosted. So a lot of people think this, that when a person is playing with another person and other person just happens to be the person who plays Mercy, the other person is their boyfriend, and then the girl is the e-girl being internet girl. So obviously that is not a positive way of thinking. Going back to the Mercy main, by the way, thing, they always assume that a girl is playing Mercy, and they always assume that if she swaps off to something else, she's throwing, she's not playing the game well, she's not playing to win. So stuff like that always pops up, and this actually is the biggest problem for my team, because they always say this. One of the guy in my team decided to put e-girl slaying as his stream title, and I was like, that's not right. You can't just write that. And he switched it right after, but still, like, the mentality that he has is just thinking that was okay to write made me really feel sad, and made me feel like, what if I was queuing with another person and that I happened to play Mercy? Would they think the same? And then the more of a problem with this is that if the team happens to lose, they always blame the e-girl, the quotation e-girl, and it's just really odd to me that how a character ended up representing a girl, a female gender, and how having that person can just make them lose a game. It just didn't make sense to me. So whenever they say all these stuff, my response to their actions were quick and direct. I told them straight up that it's not cool, that it's not nice, you're being mean, or I'm reporting you guys for being sexist or just being mean. And I casually write capital D colon, it's the unhappy smiley face. That face. And I always let them know that those words hurt me, even though they're not directly at me, because that is the community that I belong in, the female community that I happen to recognize with. And I told them that is just not right for you to say. And, with the constant reminder, they did stop saying certain stuff. They did stop saying Mercy Main, by the way. They decreased the amount of hatred towards the Mercy Mains. There's this one guy who keeps calling Mercy Mains Milady, even though it happens to be a guy. Stuff like that is a work in progress, and I feel like if the more you tell people about your experience, if you're a female, your experience, and your close friends, tell them like how unsafe it feels to be in an environment where all the guys are hating on you. Maybe if they care for you, they'll act upon it and they'll tell the other guy to back off, or just that is not cool. And obviously the person will get reported and stuff like that happens. But it's always important to take initiative when you see that happening. So hopefully with this with the trilogy that I have provided, we got to learn about its esports and its background, history, and how the game industry, game culture ended up being divided, how that affects esports, how that discourages females joining the esports scene, just anything like that. And I hope I hope this presentation made sense to people, why this is a problem, and why as a gamer myself would want this to be fixed. We talked about two very, very talented female players who are beyond their skill level, just very talented female players, one day hoping to be called just gamers without being called a female gamer, who tries their heart, who doesn't care about what other people are saying. They just want to play the game. And I also want I also want females, other girls out there who wants to achieve something in gaming, to feel that way, that they don't have to bind to the society's norm. They could do whatever they want, and they feel empowered to do so, obviously with the help with the supporter groups that are out there, that I also hopefully that help people who are interested in joining these support groups or finding the support groups. Just I hope that it helped gain access to these. I hope that my message with my own story might have helped others to understand that even if you aren't being mean, there is a possibility that it might affect someone. Just stuff like that. Hopefully I got that message across. My last one thing I want to say is never give up on your dream. To all the female gamers out in the world, if you want to get into esports, don't be shy. Don't feel discouraged because the community isn't there for you. If you want to do it, you'll get it if you try, and if you don't give in to the hateful words. So thank you very much for listening. This was the trilogy of Women in Esports.